to the plan. I want to make it clear to everyone here today and to all Islanders that we are not here just to critique the government's plan. The union and the provincial government do agree on one thing, and that is that some measure of pension reform is needed in Prince Edward Island. We have an alternative pension proposal, along with the Canadian Union of Public Employees, that is fair to workers, retirees, taxpayers, and the economy. Government has not been able to show us why they are rejecting our plan. The union proposal for pension reform calls for a joint governance pension plan that will give members 50% of the say in regards to how their pension is managed. It will also immediately remove 50% of the pension liability from government and taxpayers. Under our plan, the pension would be fully funded to 100% within 3 years. Minister Sheridan says he doesn't like our plan and the joint governance model because it means he will have to give up absolute control. He also says he can't let members assume that much responsibility. Well, folks, who do you think is paying for the pension cuts the government is about to legislate? It's you. You are assuming responsibility whether you like it or not. And you are doing it without a real say in the matter. A joint governance model, on the other hand, would give you real input, and yes, that does mean more responsibility. But it is our pension, and we want a real say in how it's managed. The government's plan, on the other hand, is to maintain complete control of the plan and to force us into a scheme that sees government overfunding the pension plan to an unprecedented level of 122% funded. No one understands why they're doing this because it is unnecessary and could only be achieved by implementing severe cuts. In fact, the government's policy on funding the pension says it should be funded to at least 90%. The policy also provides government a 20-year period to achieve the 90% funding status. So why does government want to overfund the pension to 32% more than their own policy calls for, to 122% funded? Why overpay the bill? And why overpay it at such a massive scale, especially when the payments come out of the pockets of retirees, public service workers, and islanders? The union's plan is more reasonable. Our plan will see the pension 100% funded, and not only will the pension be fully funded, but the retirees and future retirees will maintain a guaranteed pension benefit. Minister Sheridan, let's go back to the table and work on a deal that's fair to all. It is my privilege now to invite Wanda Livingston to say a few words. Wanda is the president of the QP Health Council, representing all 4 QP Health locals on PEI. Wanda?
The government told the unions that there was a temporary funding challenge in the CSSF, and if we could not find a solution together, government would impose a solution. On July 5th, 2013, that's exactly what the government did. Minister Sheridan made it clear on July 5th, in spite of the opposition of all the unions, that his government wanted to move away from our defined benefit. Best 3 years SSF could afford it in any given year. The plan's best year's average is no longer guaranteed. Since then, PEI and UPSE have provided the government with a fair, responsible alternative proposal that protects the fundamentals of our defined benefit and supply, simply moving from best 3 years to best 5 years. Unfortunately, the GIZ government refuses to consider this fair and responsible alternative. Here are the keys of our fair and responsible alternative plan will eliminate the small remaining deficit in the pension plan in less than 3 years, while remaining within the envelope of money that the GIZ government is prepared to pay for their proposal. Does that sound fair and reasonable to you? And number 3, that the PEI UPSE proposal, especially the people coming after us, and that's the young workers of this province. That would make this will make the 7.5% rollback pale in comparison. And we won't forget what the Liberals are doing to our pensions in 2013.
We have representatives here from each of the 3 provincial parties. I'm going to call on them to speak in the order that they have confirmed that they would attend. And it doesn't mean anything political, it's just who call back first gets on first. So right now I would like to call on Michael Reckon, from the leader of the NDP, to come up with the please.
Now there's a nice shot, Renee. Look at that. Look. It's beautiful.
Pat yourself in the back there.
Said we've had enough of this government. We are here today because this Liberal government, after 6.5 years, has shown an enormous incompetence of managing your funds and your finances in this province. We want more islands to happen. We want more islands to happen here. We want more islands to live in the States, not in Province. Mr. Chairman, you knew this was a problem in 2008 and you did nothing about it. Your ownership of the pension funds, taking away the provincial liability, is a good idea.
crowd here tonight, and I know that the Liberal cabinet ministers standing down there are shaking their heads at the mistakes that they have made. And it's a sad day when this many people have to show up just to be heard by their own government. They knew that changes needed to be made to this pension. They knew in 2008, they ignored it. They knew just before the election, and they ignored it because they were using you guys as a pawn to win the election in 2011. The finance minister himself can't even keep track of what the budget shortfall or the pension shortfall was. He changed his numbers 3 times in about 3 days, and he has the audacity to say to me in the House today that I and the leader of your union is spreading misinformation. I ask you, who is spreading misinformation? And I think the very first thing he should do when he gets up in front of you tonight is apologize to you, apologize to Debbie for the way he has treated you, the way he has forced you to beg for the very pension that you've earned, and go back to the table and bargain with your union in good faith. So today in the legislature we talked about the fact that there's an actuarial report out there that says that he says that I don't have the right numbers. Well, you want to know where the numbers came from? Yeah. This department.
Wow! We need less West!
Our numbers are just as good as his numbers because they're the same numbers. And it's scary to think that he stood in the House today and he said to me that he's doing this for you. He's doing this for you.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Sounds good. It
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
good. Yeah.
He's doing it for him. He's doing it for his buddies because they've spent this province right into the ground.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
I urge you here tonight to not let this government off the hook. Your premier and your finance minister have misled you, and they're taking your money, and they've taken enough from you. 20 years ago they took from you. 20 years ago they took from you. In 1994 they cut your pension when they cut your wages. Cut their pension 50%. Let's see if he'll do that. I urge you to take this government to task, make them responsible for what they've done to you 20 years ago, what they're doing to you right now, and don't give up this fight. Thank you.
Minister Sheridan, would you like to join us?
Thank you very much. I just want to start by saying that we're here for the exact same reason that Debbie laid out to you before, and that is to save your pension.
speak, please? We invited him to speak, so could we let him speak and you can do your chant when he's done, please, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Debbie. I want to begin by thanking your leadership for participating in what was a very good process. For 16 months, we sat together to try to find the best solution in Canada. There was great discussion about the problems facing the plans. We all agree there is a problem, as Debbie has said. We haven't agreed on a solution. Both of our solutions work when the markets perform. However, when markets do not, the alternative proposal has the potential to take us right back to where we started. And nothing good comes of that for anyone. As you have seen, our actuary and a number of your colleagues all agree with that. I want you to just beware of what it is that we're looking at and what we need for a solution. And thank you very much for your time tonight. I appreciate your concern.
So now we're going to call on the President of the National Union, James Clancy, to say a few words.
The last time I was at a rally this big in PEI, this great island, was when there was a rollback. And at the time, the leadership argued that that was short-term gain from the government's perspective, but long-term pain for islanders. You know, that over time it didn't work, that kind of drastic measure. And we called for more thoughtfulness and this idea that we would work together as a community to find a solution to a problem. And this evening, as I look out amongst the audience, we know that in Canada, one of the solutions to the pension problem, that is the need for greater pensions for more Canadians, is found in reforming. And as I travel and work across the country, one of the leading spokespeople for that is Wes Sheridan, and his pushing the other provinces and trying to promote a healthier CPP for everyone. And so I begin tonight by calling on Wes Sheridan and the GIZ government to take the same values that motivate them in calling for improvements in the Canada Pension Plan, and to bring those values and that idea of working together, even with some troublesome provinces that are opposed to it, to actually bring those same values to here, to the island. And to work with islanders. We know that in the last 6 months, Minister Sheridan, the market itself has added some 70 or $8 million to the problems that you have here with the plan in PEI. So that we know that over time with sound management, this plan can move forward and be stronger, and so that we will ensure that all the young people that I see in this audience, you know, who are here, that when they choose to what in my view is one of the highest callings that someone can do, that is to work in the public service. You know, it's the public service that's helped build this great island and these great people. So we agree with you that it's building for tomorrow. But this is tomorrow. Not young person, not young person, not young person, not young person. And tomorrow is also ensuring that those people that have served the province and are in retirement can live in dignity. So we need a made-in-PEI solution. And a made-in-PEI solution involves all the people of PEI. That's right. Not just the government. What's the rush to judgment? What is the rush to judgment? How, on the one hand, when the government has administered and managed the plan and says it's now in trouble, well, if that's the case, why not take the solution that the unions are proposing, which is to give them joint trusteeship so that they can manage their own? What is this sense? Why is there this sense that these people, who instead of taking wage increases when they're in negotiations in many cases, took an improvement to their pension plan and left it to the government to administer, to manage, to husband those scarce resources, and there's been a failure, why are they now expected to pay for that failure? So, there is a solution to this problem. When we look at the proposals that the unions have put on the table, these are reasonable proposals put forward by reasonable, fair-minded people. And what they're looking for in return are reasonable and fair-minded people that want to sit down and negotiate our way through this. We can get there. We need your help and your government's help. It should begin now. Let's get back to the table.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you for coming out and making this effort to protect your pension, my pension, our children's pension and grandchildren's pension. Thank you for taking the time to have your voice heard. Everyone, be safe on the way home. Thank you for coming.
Hey, how are you? You gotta wait.